So we need to make our way to the rendezvous point, which we should be able to do by heading up here, I believe. Now, as Otacon said, the solid eye comes in real handy, and you'll see there's all these different modes for it. There's the normal mode, which sort of gives us this bit more of a map, kind of radar displaying sounds, and we do also have the night vision mode, which actually works as sort of like a thermal amplification as well. So that comes like hugely in handy, pretty much throughout the whole game, because you can very easily see where enemies are stationed. For example, all the militia are over there. Let's grab that AK. Oof, and there, look. The PMC are sending in some pretty heavy artillery to try and deal with the militia. And we should be able to, though, make our way through here, because I think this is where we took down... Oh, that's not where we want to go at all. What is really cool actually about MGS4 is that it sort of takes what 3 developed with the sort of less linear levels and went a bit further with it to give you this really sort of open world feel. Not quite as much as MGS5 obviously, but still pretty cool nonetheless. So we only actually have to make our way sort of diagonally across this road, which if I had any sense of direction would have been fairly obvious. Now, as you can see, bullets are absolutely whizzing by. Nobody knows we're here, as yet, but that doesn't mean we can't be hit. If a stray bullet gets you, they're not just special effects, you will be hurt, which isn't nice. So we'll make our way through a big cloud of artillery fire, and round here. And as we have lost our disguise that we were wearing at the start of the game, these militia actually will shoot at us, so we don't want to be seen by them either. Oh god, they are just terrified, the poor things. Okay. Did he see me? Whew.
It's pretty dark in there. Switch the solid eye to night vision mode.
Okay, so we'll do just as Otacon says and pop on a bit of night vision. Now whilst we're in here, I'll use the Mark II to deal with any guards we come across. So I believe this first guy doesn't actually shoot at you. He doesn't mind too much that you're in their base, but if we encounter any more militiamen, they are going to be rather displeased. Oh no, I didn't want to get up, I wanted to frisk him. Okay, he should be okay for now. So yeah, if we encounter any more militiamen, they are going to just attack us straight away, which we don't want, to state the obvious. So I'm going to have to be pretty careful as I make my way through. And you can hear some guys running down this tunnel, look, so we're going to duck out of the way. And they're now no doubt going to find the chap that we put unconscious, so we had better get a wriggle on. Picked up a few more anaesthetic rounds. And in here seem to be rather a lot of chickens, but no guards, so that is a bonus. And Metal Gear Solid 4 actually added for the first time this ability to sneak whilst crouching, which is... Uh-oh. Hide, sneak. And sometimes the trouble with having your night vision on is you can forget how easily people might be able to see you, because you sort of assume it's going to be very dark. But yes, this sort of crouch walk that we could do is really useful for sneaking about, and you can see here that the militia have taken care of some PMC troops. We'll pinch their weapons, thank you very much. So unless we want to end up like the PMC, we had better keep going. Uh-oh.
Not that bad. Hang in there.
Oh man, it hurts bad.
Get you patched up. Just hold on a little longer.
Damn it! What the hell? are those freaks?
What's that?
You didn't see them? Those four weird looking.
What are you talking about? The way they moved. It wasn't more like beasts. So many of them. Yeah. Okay, take it easy. Just don't try to talk. Hang in there.
Okay, well that conversation's pretty much over. Uh-oh. So let's pop him to sleep, shall we? So you can give militiamen usually some healing items and stuff like that. I thought you might be able to give it to these ones, especially because there was like a sort of hint where he was like, oh, give me something for the pain. But apparently not. Which is, you know, a bit of a shame for him, really. But there we go. Can't say we didn't try. Now, another unusual item we have is an iPod, funnily enough. So if we look on it in our inventory, scroll to all items, we can pick out the iPod, which actually we can change the background music with, and they even had a podcast released through the game back when it was first released, and we can even put on. Anyone who watched Metal Gear Solid 3 or has played it might recognise this tune. The Taking on the Shagahod theme song. Which is pretty cool if you fancy a bit of a change of pace or change of music whilst you're playing the game. Let's pop him to sleep. Grab a few more anesthetic rounds. Can't get enough of those, quite literally.
May be strange, but they demonstrated incredible combat ability. We've already lost several units to them.
Here, one of them even flies.
One of them does indeed seem capable of flight, sir. At the same time, it also maintains control over several UCAVs, bringing in their attacks.
One of my men recovered one.
Now, they appear capable of working together or acting independently. My guess is that they're building an aerial surveillance network.
Let's see. The more intel they have in the area, the more effective their ground units are in battle.
Sounds like there was a rather unusual unit attacking the PMCs, the militia, sorry, based on what we heard from those guys and the chaps before. We don't actually have, unfortunately, any empty magazines to throw, so we might be about to be seen. Unless I can think of something clever to do. Which I can't. Uh-oh. But thankfully, Snake is a rather adept hand at the old CQC. And we can take these two down without too much effort. So you'll see that Snake's now taking after Big Boss using a knife, unlike his previous appearances. And thank goodness for that, because it means he's a lot handier at taking out enemies hand to hand. And you'll see actually, that wing is really weird and moves actually of its own accord, seemingly. And here we can pick up an absolute Metal Gear Solid staple, an ordinary cardboard box. But there is nothing ordinary about this cardboard box, because this is Snake's cardboard box. Hell yeah. Anyway, whilst they fuss over the knocked out soldiers, we can make our way through here, and that no doubt means we're going to have more dudes after us. However, all sorts of good weapons in here, including an RPG. We can pick up a Playboy magazine, as we have in previous games. And we can also grab the Middle Eastern Militia disguise, just what I was after. So we can change our costume, and now the militia will be on side whenever we're wearing this handy getup. So that is a really useful item to grab for whilst you're making your way through these tunnels. So I'm just going to have a quick scout through each area for items. Metal Gear Solid 4, to be honest, is quite a lot different because just a little bit later we're actually going to be able to acquire weapons through a sort of store rather than having to pick up every single one. So whilst it is useful that you can pick up items, I'm not sort of as obsessive on this game about picking up absolutely everything as I am in sort of, especially at Metal Gear 1 and 2, but then like as 3 and 4 went on, the items became a lot more sort of, you know, it was your decision whether you ended up getting them all. What the dickens?
Pretty sweet, huh? Oh, hold it. Watch where you pointing that thing.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend.
A classic line.
Voila.
You're not with the militia, and you're not PMC.
I'm a weapons wholesaler. All shapes, all sizes. But there's no need to worry, because all my shit's been laundered.
Laundered?
You see, I take ID guns like the PMCs use and make some mods. Then you can use them without having to match IDs. In other words, I'm a gun launderer. You can call me Drebin.
Drebin?
Yeah, they use that for all of us.
There are more of you.
All over the world. Not that I ever met any of them personally. Me, I'm Drebin number 893. You ain't a registered PMC employee, are you? You need a guy like me. Consider it a welcome gift. Take it. The M4. The official carbine model used by the U.S. Army, developed from the M16 service rifle. This one's a top-of-the-line model, real popular with the big PMCs. High precision, not like that government-issue shit. It's, free-floating, of course. Relax, that barrel's clean.
Is the hider CQC compatible?
The beauty of this sucker is that it's got a lot of customizable parts. Change it up the way you want to meet your everyday needs.
Flip-up sight, rail system. Not bad.
Yeah, well, you know, I get a lot of noobs around here. If you need them, I got a wide selection of aftermarket parts as well.
The frame's pretty rigid. No rattle.
Go ahead, give her a squeeze.
I can't pull the trigger.
Really? That's weird.
What's weird?
Wait, I got it. I bet you're using an older generation of nanomachines.
Older generation?
Sometimes they don't really jive with the new system.
Seriously, who are you?
Whoa. Slow down. Oh, yeah. My day job's working at AT Security. I'm in charge of production control. So I get my hands on all the ID chips before they even register. Have a sip. It's a side of AT the public don't see. From the looks of it, you ain't with any state army. But you ain't exactly green, neither. You've got last-gen nanomachines. So I'm guessing former U.S. Army. I don't know what you're here for. But you want to be well-equipped, am I right? So, can we talk business or what? You won't regret it.
What's your take on him, Otacon?
I don't particularly like the guy, but it looks like we'll need his help with those ID guns. Sonny's been doing a little sleuthing for us. Drebin, a well-known gun launderer in war economy circles. He's a businessman who deals mainly in selling black market firearms to small PMCs and local militia. Somalia, the Balkans, Lebanon, Darfur, Chechnya, Timor, Peru, the Punjab, Kashmir, Colombia. This guy really gets around.
How's he pull it off, anyway?
You can create a non-ID gun by replacing the ID recognition chip with a counterfeit version. This enables you to bypass the ID recognition process and use the gun. The problem is that there's still a record of the chip being replaced on the system side. Drebin's an employee of AT Security. He must have connections on the inside erasing records for him.
You think the Patriots are involved somehow?
I'm not so sure. If the Patriots were running the system from behind the scenes, then a weasel like Drebin would be a real pain in their collective ass.
Trusted.
Remember, Drebin's a green collar. He makes his living off the war economy. He doesn't let emotions get in the way of business, and he never gets his own hands dirty. The only thing he trusts is money. I share your concern, but what if we keep him at arm's length? Use him only to get intel and the supplies we need. Keep it strictly business.
All right.
So, we ready to make a deal or what? Okay then, let's talk business. This is a war zone. There's product coming in here by the truckload. And you'll be picking up a lot of guns in the field, I'm sure. Whatever guns you don't need, I'll take and buy them off you. That'll earn you points you can cash in for services.
Like what?
I'll launder your ID guns, no more locks. And I can also sell you the guns I've got in stock. Let me show you.
Quite a little arsenal he's got there. And a coke machine as well. Or Canark, as it seems to be known.
To ensure you can use non-ID guns, I'm gonna have to suppress the old nanomachines you got in you. Otherwise, they'll interfere with the system. Here, stick yourself with this. It's full of suppressor nanomachines. Relax, it won't hurt. You're scared of needles or something?
I'd be fairly scared of a random man I just met in a Middle Eastern war zone trying to stick me with a needle, yeah.
See? No sweat. Now you can use non-ID guns, no problem. Hey, be nice to our guests.
That monkey loves soda.
Step outside. Boo. There you see? From now on, when you pick up an ID gun that says lock, you just let me know. You name it, I can launder it. Of course, it'll cost you. The going rate depends on the war price at the time. Man, I gotta give this shit a rest.
Looks like you're doing pretty well for yourself.
You might say that. What with the war economy and all, and the system clamping down on things. System codes are the law now, and control's essentially absolute, paving the way for fat profits if you're willing to bend the law. Demand keeps on growing thanks to the war economy. I sell ID guns to the PMCs and state armies, and naked guns to terrorist groups and paramilitaries. And these ID guns can't be sold on the black market. System's practically a license for us arms dealers to print money. Privatizing the military's made the PMCs big and bloated. The fatter the PMCs get, the line between civilian and soldier is gonna get real blurry. Sooner or later, the whole damn human race is gonna be green collars. More like we're all gonna be fighting proxy wars. But hey, this war economy puts the food on my table. You're a green collar too, aren't you? Yeah, it's in your eyes. You've seen a lot of combat.
What makes you think you know me?
Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm the same way. I grew up here too. I got no interest in the outside world. All right then. If you need me, holla. We specialize in speedy service. Catch my drift? I have you.
Love that monkey. Okay, so we've got ourselves a new ally, if we can call him that, a new gun, and we can head on to the rendezvous, now being a little more well equipped as well.
I know what you're thinking, but Drebin does have a point. The world depends on war, on the war economy. Can you imagine what would happen if war just disappeared overnight?
Otacon, you and Drebin both mentioned something about a war price earlier. What did you mean by that?
It's a kind of market price, one that fluctuates according to demand, not only for PMCs and military industry, but for the production, distribution, and energy supply networks that support them. It's been growing by leaps and bounds, and investors are really starting to take notice. As the fighting in any given area becomes increasingly intense and prolonged, the war price goes up. No doubt Drebin's rates are linked to that war price. The longer and bloodier a battle becomes, the higher service prices are going to get. To put it another way, the quieter things are, the better the bargains. Snake, we'll use the Mark II to deal with Drebin from here on out. He's what you might call a street vendor. The Mark II can act as a kind of delivery boy and connect you with it. I'm adding a Drebin menu item to the Mark II's weapon menu. Whenever you pick up multiple units of the same weapon, any extras will automatically be sold to Drebin. Any ammo that's inside gets added to your cache. In other words, you keep the ammo, and the weapon itself gets traded to Drebin for points.
I see.
You can then use the points you've earned to unlock ID guns or buy new weapons.
Sounds good.
We should assume Drebin has other agents collecting guns for him besides you, Snake. You know, freelance green collars who collect weapons in exchange for services?
Guess I'll have to rely on him for now.
Okay, now go meet up with our informants, Rat Patrol.
So we get the M4 Custom.
Snake, hurry and get to the rendezvous point with our informants. First, you'll have to get to the other side of that collapsed building. The only way across is straight through.
It's never straightforward, is it? Thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to press the like button, and of course subscribe if you want to find out as soon as the next video comes out. Drop me a comment as well to let me know what you guys think about Metal Gear Solid 4 so far. I'd love to hear from you guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon in the next video.